Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm Dr. Tisha Rowe, family medicine physician in Houston, Texas. And I promised that I would do a Zoom today on starting telemedicine practice. We did have the Zoom, but I figured why not just share it with the group because I know it's Sunday, a day for spending time with your family, and we had some technical difficulties. So if you missed the Zoom, here's the info. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. I can't promise that I'll have time to check the comments, but here are the 10 steps I recommend if you are, like many physicians, working for all of these different telemedicine companies where they dictate the price, they determine your value, often a value that's well below what you're worth, and you're thinking about, hey, could I just do this on my own? And the answer is you can. And here are some steps to do that and realistic, practical advice to get it done. Step one, if you are starting a business, any business, you should have a legal entity. The good news is the fastest way to do this is LegalZoom or a similar platform. It will take care of all your compliance documents for your state. I do not recommend hiring an attorney who's going to charge you thousands of dollars for this step at all. Timeline for this, you should have your LLC if you do the expedited version within a few weeks. If you do the regular, I think it might take more than a month, but expedited is pretty fast. And budget, haven't done this in a while, but I budget about $1,000 for this. It could be a little bit cheaper. Step two, work on a business plan. A lot of us think about a business plan as this lengthy document that you're going to create. Two ways to do this. One, a business plan can be a PowerPoint, and you can go to Barnes and Nobles, buy a book on how to write a business plan. Don't spend more than a weekend working on your business plan. It does not need to be perfect. It is an ever evolving document, and AI is your best friend. Use ChatGPT. I've not used it to write a business plan, but I've used it to perfect a business plan. But let me know in the comments if you try it. I'm pretty sure 90% of it probably could be done with AI and ChatGPT these days. Step three, create a budget. Open a spreadsheet. If there's interest, I would be happy to do a separate private class just on creating a budget for your business. But anything that you can think of that you might need to spend on, legal fees, electronics, insurance, paying yourself, you put all of that under your budget. And then you should also create a separate spreadsheet that has all the money you think you can make, how many patients per day, how much revenue does that equal, how much per week, how much per year. That is a profit and loss, guys. But do not start a business without anticipating your expenses and calculating how much you can make, because it's not a business, it's a hobby if you're not going to make any money. All right. Step four is creating a financial plan. And what do I mean? I mean, how are you going to fund this business? Now, if you have a partner or spouse who is employed and willing to fund it, hats off. I'll consider that personal savings or your partner. If you don't, you can, once you start your LLC, apply for a business loan. As a physician, if you can show your current pay stubs or any proof of income, that shouldn't be too hard to do. There's actually a company out there, doc to doc loan, that I've not personally used, but I think it's great that doctors are lending to doctors. Or you can go to your local credit union or bank. If you're wondering how much money I should take out, that's the purpose of the budget. 3 months at least worth of revenue. And it could be more. You want that revenue to include money to pay yourself, unless you plan on living off your savings. And then if not, you could do a line of credit. So if you have access to credit lines, you could just open a business credit card, put everything you spend on there. And this is also the point at which you now have your LLC, you have a budget, you're going to start spending money. You need to open a QuickBooks account and track every expense, and you'll thank me later when it's time for you to file your taxes, because this is extremely important, especially when it comes to things that you will be able to write off. Step 5, creating a website. You can go to GoDaddy.com, Wix.com, or WordPress. If you want someone to create your website, use Upwork, Fiverr, any of these websites, and you can get someone to create it pretty cheaply. If you need a logo, use 99designs.com to create a logo. Now you have a website. When you put your website out there, people are going to want to know how to contact you. So it's very important. Step 6, get a phone number. I recommend using Spruce Health to have a phone number. It will allow your patients to text you and for you to call them. Throw that number on your website. Step 7, get malpractice. I often see people out there saying, oh, I'm a health coach, I'm this, I'm that. If you're a doctor, you can get sued. So please don't do anything without malpractice. And also invest in cybersecurity, right? So usually your malpractice carrier can also provide you cybersecurity coverage. That's so if you get hacked and any information gets compromised, you are covered. Step 8. At this point, you have not started seeing patients yet. You're laying the foundation. You want to get an EMR. I use Athena Health. I would say there are pros and cons to every EMR. Athena Health is not bad, but there's some things about it that drive me crazy. If you've watched this far and you have a favorite EMR, put it in the comments, right? We are a community of 11K doctors. We should be able to help each other, learn from one another without any reservation. So if you have a favorite EMR, put it in there. If you're considering Athena, I can tell you what's good or bad about it. Step 9, if you are going to be doing weight loss, this all came up because we were talking about doing weight loss clinics. You need to find your pharmacy that you want to partner with. If you need pharmacy recommendations, again, feel free to reach out to me. There's some things that I just don't feel comfortable putting out there for the masses. But if you're looking for pharmacy recommendations, I have several that I would be more than happy to recommend. Step 10, and the last step, is to hire your team. This could be an office manager. You're like, I don't have an office, I'll manage it by myself. That's fine in the beginning. By 6 months, I want you to get an office manager. I promise you it will be the best decision that you ever make. But budgeting wise, you don't need it right away. You do need someone to answer the phone right away. So find a medical assistant. There are lots of students who did not match. Aspiring resident in a gap year would be a great person to use. If not, use Indeed or Monster and find a medical assistant. You want a CPA to do your bookkeeping and your accounting. Again, if you need recommendations, feel free to reach out to me for that as well. In the beginning, I said you don't need a lawyer to start your entity. I do recommend that you have legal counsel that you check in with about the laws in your state. There are a lot of lawsuits coming down the pipeline, especially when it comes to GLP. So just have someone that you can kind of talk to protect you from any potential lawsuits, when it comes to prescribing and things like that. I also have attorney recommendations. And the last thing I would say recommend is a social media manager. Patients these days, they're online, they're finding patients through social media, and there's so many great options out there. One of the cheapest options that I've used, gosh, why am I blanking on the name of this company right now? I'll put it in the comments. I can't think of the name of it, but it's one that's super cheap, automates your marketing, and that can do. You should be able to do all of this in 10 days, guys. 10 steps, 10 days. I challenge you, if you've been working for companies for a while and really thinking about doing this and not pulling the trigger, do it. What do you have to lose? Why are you working for all of these companies when you could be doing this on your own? I started a website and directory called myglpmd.com. If you're interested in being listed, go to the website. There's a form you can fill out. For the first 50 doctors is free. You do get charged a per booking fee. And outside of that, it's free advertisement and promotion for your practice. If you're interested in workshops like this or talking to me one-on-one, I do have a Patreon community, which I will share the link in the comments as well, where you can connect with me. We do a monthly business boot camp, and I would love to be able to share with you and help you grow your ideas, grow your vision. Coaching is not my primary. I'm a full-time physician, growing my practice, franchising my practice at the moment, which is a ton of work and extremely time consuming. But I do stay in these groups. I try to answer comments when I can, but hopefully this is something that can help those who are really thinking about which way to go. What I want to say is that we are stronger together. So when you have all these big companies out there, Henry Meds, and we work for them, we're just throwing away generational wealth. We're throwing away our value. We're throwing away our equity. When we link arms and we stay independent, but form coalitions, that is when we can truly win. If you found this helpful and you watched, please bump so that someone else can get access to the same information. Again, often we see things that are helpful, we keep it to ourselves, we don't share, and we have to do better at sharing. So if this is helpful to you, bump so someone else can see. Again, if you have any questions, join my Patreon community. If you already are in practice, sign up for my glpmd.com if you're doing weight loss so that we can help promote you and your business. The goal is to have at least one doctor in every state. You can log on, see the map, see the coverage where it is now, and let me know if you have any questions. You can follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Tisha, Tisha Rowe, ROWEMD. Have a wonderful Sunday, everyone.